Okay, it's an army screen saver. I got scammed. Let me call this guy. You blocked me. You blocked me.
Can we watch the together?
We're gonna watch the mix and match now, please.
Welcome back to the Past My Prime YouTube channel. Dustin Prime here, and today we're talking about scams. I don't know if you've been scammed, I've almost been scammed a few times, but with social media, they just run rampant. Gone are the days of just getting, scam phone calls and, scam emails and things like that. It's gotten much worse, much more sophisticated. And of course, on social media, people just love to show off the trouble they get themselves into. And everybody loves it because you can either relate or you love to see the people get busted. And I think this gets lumped into fraud a lot, online fraud, whether you're defrauding the government, you're defrauding some other organization, that's always popular too. So from TikTok shop scams to Pokemon cards, Labubus, banks, gas stations, it's everywhere. Let's get into it. But I think one of the biggest ones has been frauding the government.
Maybe when people be like, girl, how you get food stamps? I wish I get food stamps. You better start lying. That lady called me and said, ma'am, I said, yes, ma'am. She gonna say, what's your address? I said, ma'am, I don't have no address. I've been homeless for
This is
4
very
or 5
ratchet.
months. I have nothing. My family won't let me stay with them, ma'am. I'm starving. While I'm kicked back in a motherfucking 3-bedroom and everything, living lovely. Then she gonna say, ma'am, what's your job title? I don't say, ma'am, they won't hire me anywhere. I don't have no job. I've been putting application after application. It's just like nothing work. Yeah, that lady was on the phone. She said, ma'am, I'm so sorry for all of this that you're going through. She said, we just shipped your card out. You should have about $1,000 on your card from last month and this month, and your balance and your payment every month is gonna be $300. And bitch, like, thank you so much, ma'am. Like, you just don't understand how hungry I've been. Let me tell y'all something. This was wrong with y'all. I know y'all mama ain't tell y'all. You don't gotta tell everybody the fucking truth.
Yeah, so that one kind of went popular, a little viral, absolutely despicable. You could be on either side of the fence. You're either for, public assistance, food stamps, welfare, all that stuff, or you could be against it. Honestly, I think both sides have valid points, but it's stuff like this that just truly ruins the program and the reputation for everybody. And I can see why then a lot of people would be against it. And I think those are the two biggest things, food and having a place to live. So especially when that gets into the scam territory, that's just reprehensible. Yeah, and like someone says here in the comments, for her telling people to, start lying to them to get the food stamps, they will find out, they always find out. May not be today, may not be next month, but give it a few years, they're gonna get you. But of course, we said we'd like to see people get busted. Well, apparently she got busted.
So y'all remember that time that I got on TikTok telling y'all about the food stamps?
They got her.
Do y'all remember that time I got on here and told y'all about the food stamps? Why the fuck did they turn my food stamps off? And I gotta pay back $35,000. They turned my food stamp off and I gotta pay back $35,000. Now I'm fucking aggravated because how y'all didn't know I was playing on here? Y'all just running with you. But them motherfuckers really turned my goddamn food stamps off and I have to pay them back $35,000. I don't know where the hell I'm gonna get $35,000 from, but I have to pay them back. So y'all, watch what y'all put on the internet because everything is not for the internet. And I learned that.
So if this is a true case and she did get caught scamming, hey, I'm glad. We have seen where people try to fake this for sympathy after the fact, come up with an elaborate story and then post it and then come back with, oh no, now I'm in this trouble, I need your help. That's a scam in itself.
Bruh.
So fake a scam to then try to scam people for pity. So who knows what's real anymore. Top comment here. It's almost like your actions have consequences. So hey, you reap what you sow. But she did follow up with that with another video kind of about explaining the story, everything that happened, how she had filled out the application, they knew her address, they knew where to pick her up. She had to get taken in the back of a police car. You can go watch it. You can see for yourself. Could be true. Could be part of the scam too. And this just really sucks if that's true. There are probably so many scams, fraud, people taking advantage of public's assistance, government services and things like that. So even like right here, people make such a mockery of it. I'm getting thousands of dollars from the government, comes in every month. They like to post TikToks of them dancing around and stuff like that. Oh, look at all this stuff we went out and we were able to get. We bought all this food, all this junk food, all this trash, nothing nutritious. And this was seriously like widespread, people showing off this like food stamp type of like fraud and manipulation stuff on TikTok. But there was a lot of people speaking up against it too.
I know you guys saw what Trump said about food stamps and all the government assistance, Section 8, and it's about time. And I'm not trying to bash on anyone that is on Section 8 or food stamps, because that's you, do your thing. But so many people milk it. Like, there's so many people that could actually use the help, and they can't because they work too much or whatever. They make too much. But how is that fair when you're literally just sitting home, not working, and you're getting all these benefits? Like, that's just not fair. And don't get me wrong, because I've been on food stamps before. And obviously I'm not on food stamps anymore. I was on it a couple years ago. My son's about 7, so I remember when he was born, I did qualify for WIC, food stamps and all that. But Section 8 and food stamps and all those benefits are not made to, like, for you to stay on them forever. Like, I saw a video on a woman that said she was on him since she was 19 and she's in her 30s. Like, girl, what do you mean? Like, go get a job and go provide for your 6 kids. Like, how are you going to be on food stamps and rely on the government for, like, your entire life? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree with her there. You know, this is supposed to be like temporary assistance, not like just something that once you qualify for, you're going to just be like freeloading it for the rest of your life. So they've been there, they know, and they're like hardcore outspoken against that. Like, sure, you know, forget these whiners. And so besides food stamps and scamming the government, Section 8, stuff like that, where else do you always get scammed? Gas stations. And I've been scammed at one before too.
Here you guys, there's a skimmer on here.
Damn, he spotted it right away.
And you're gonna pay for that. There, don't do that.
Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Right.
They're like,
This
oh
is
no,
the skimmer.
don't take it off.
See that? A skimmer. See that? You see here? It's not broken. Yeah. Okay. It's a skimmer. This is how you take people's money.
So yeah, those credit card skimmers, man, that's been a problem for a while, and it's been pretty widespread. You've seen it on the news, you know, you've seen it in, you know, social media, people saying they got hacked from like gas stations and things like that. You know, they went in, they got some gas at the pump, bang, next thing they knew, they had charges on their card from like different sorts of areas and stuff like that. Not necessarily just the state that they were in, but like, you know, states far away. And it was honestly kind of surprising. Maybe that older lady in the video, she didn't know. She kind of looked genuinely shocked. But there was like a younger guy there, and you know, probably more employees in the store or that gas station, that convenience store. And so they could really easily, like, you know, on their shift, just bang, slap that baby on at each register, and no one would even know. Unless the owner's like actively going back and like reviewing the tape, they probably wouldn't even know until they got some sort of, you know, complaint or investigation. So yeah, this has happened to me before. I had charges showing up in like places like California, you know, places like Washington State, Arizona. And I've probably mentioned it like, you know, a ton of times before in a video or a short, but I live in Florida, so pretty far away. And I had to go back and like dispute those charges, and the bank pretty much came back without a lot of pushback and said, yeah, these were fraudulent charges. So I never found out exactly what those purchases were, but we did take care of it, got the card switched out, never happened again. But I also had the same thing where I stopped at one of like the most popular areas in Central Florida over near like International Drive, went into a gas station, filled up. I was looking at my statement a little bit later. I think I was getting ready to go in and actually do a payment, and it was only like 9:30 or something like that in the morning, and I'd only gotten like $24 or something like that of gas, but I just had these charges. It was like $100, $100, just all coming in from these different locations. And I don't know what they can see on their end, but they had pretty much asked me that, hey, did you stop at like a convenience store, a gas station, something like that? Yeah. You know, you can see it from this earlier this morning at like, you know, 6:50 or whatever. And that's pretty much what they told me. Yeah, these charges are coming in from another location. You know, your card probably got compromised there. Don't go back. We'll just, you know, take care of it and work the investigation our side. So those 2 times I got scammed, I mean, lucky enough, I didn't have to really do too much to get them taken care of. And, you know, one of the top comments on this video, hey, they totally knew it was there. I mean, I don't know. I think sometimes those things get installed on there, and some of the shop owners, they don't have any idea. But if someone just stuck that on there, boom, they're done. They got what they needed. They already got the card info. So yeah, like I said about the gas stations, man, this guy, he agrees. Sketchy.
People that swipe their debit cards at the gas pump are super soldiers. Because I feel like if I put my debit card in that gas pump, I gotta get on the phone with my bank talking about a new card replacement because there's too many scammers
What
out
happened to
here.
me?
That's some dangerous level activity to participate in. And then not only that, when you swipe your card at the gas pump, all you're trying to do is get like $20, $30. Why the f do you have to take $500 out my account talking about we need to verify funds? What are we filling up, Megatron?
So yeah, I've heard about that as well, where you go to use it and then you get hit with this like hold, this like pending charge of something that's way higher. And when that happened to me at the gas station, that's originally what I thought it was. But then when I saw that it was reoccurring and there was like multiple of these $100, I knew something was up. So I think the scammers got a little too greedy on that one and I caught them. And so what's something else that's becoming prevalent like everywhere? If you're on social media, you're always ripe to get scammed. Random people start sliding in your DMs, you better have your guard up.
I almost got scammed by a jewelry company and I want to expose them so it doesn't happen to you. A few days ago, I received this email from a company called Boldier Jewelry. They told me they wanted to collaborate with me, give me $500 for a video, as well as a gold necklace worth $260. And everything sounded good until I read that they wanted me to order the necklace myself using their discount code. After using that discount code on their website to purchase the necklace, I saw that I had to pay $9.99 out of my pocket in order to get that necklace. That just
Total
sounded
savings,
a little fishy to me,
$250.
so I started doing some digging and I found several videos of people that had gotten scammed by this company that actually paid the $9.99 and never heard from them again. So if you get an email from Boldier, don't fall into their trap. Don't pay the $9.99, and yeah, don't support this brand at all. They are scamming people and they don't deserve to have a business.
Yeah, there's a lot of scams like that where, they're trying to get you in, they want you to market their product, they want you to kind of be like a brand ambassador and things like that. But if there's some sort of, payment up front, probably a scam. And they're telling her, oh, hey, just pay the shipping. It's only $10, but you can see your total savings here. We're giving you $250 off with this promo code. And while, $10, that's not that much, that's not that much in today's inflated environment. But you got to think how easy it is for mass messaging and bots like that. If they sent that out to, 500,000 people, even 100,000 people, and you got even 100 hits, that's a ton of money that you're scamming out of people that you really did not have to do much work for at all. And there have been cases where people kind of expose, oh, this looks like this was a purchased account, all the followers are fake, it's all fake, it's just pumped up to try to, grab someone's attention and then pull them in. And yeah, maybe before you say okay and you pay that $10, do a little digging, look in the comments and stuff like that. Do you see anybody complaining? Is the top comment talking about someone getting scammed? And oddly enough, in her comments, someone said, I just got this email from them. So glad I saw this. So wow, it seems like they got the email. They probably typed in that business name and then boom, they're starting to see people saying, no, scam, scam, scam. So be on the lookout and do your due diligence on stuff like this. But besides that little stuff, what about one of the biggest franchises in the world? What about something like Pokemon? But of course, there's scammers in Pokemon cards like you wouldn't believe. And with how popular Pokemon cards have become just within the last couple years and the value that some of the cards are starting to obtain, of course, there are going to be scammers. And so sometimes it's funny when people get scammed with Pokemon cards, but it's even funnier when it's huge, mega influencers.
Logan, I bought a pack for $10,000 and I opened it, and tell them what I did.
It was a PSA 10. First edition.
Was it a heavy pack?
Yes.
I hope
They got him.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying.
I bought it for 10 bands though.
They cracked it open, PSA 10.
They told you it was a heavy pack. They said it was a heavy pack?
Yeah.
And you did not pull a holographic?
No.
You got scammed.
Shut the f up.
Yeah.
Call the guy right now. Call Travis. Call the store.
Dude,
call
look
Travis.
at him.
Put Travis on the phone. He won't lie. Put Travis on the phone.
So that was Logan Paul and Aiden Ross, and I would say Logan Paul's kind of way higher than Aiden Ross is. But if you don't know who he is, he's another one of these, streamers, influencers. There's been things he's been involved in. You can look him up. I don't have time to go into that. Logan Paul really got into Pokemon cards a few years ago. He was spending a lot of money, really collecting stuff, trying to go after certain cards. He was buying some rare stuff, really expensive stuff. putting them like encased in a chain when he would go out to his boxing matches and things. So I think he was kind of like one of the biggest influencers to get into the craze again. And so, you know, there was a lot of people kind of bandwagoning on that. And so what Aiden was saying there, trying to put this in like layman's terms. So if you're familiar with like a booster pack, well, some of those booster packs go back to like 20 years ago. And so at some point, you know, people found out, well, if you weigh the packs with a very accurate scale, you can tell the cards that are inside, because the rare cards that have a holographic print on them make them slightly heavier than just the, you know, cardstock cards. So what Aiden's saying there is he's working with some seller to find a heavy pack, and he bought it for, he said, you know, $10,000 and didn't even get a holographic. So he totally got hustled on that somehow. And people have exposed how, you know, they can open the pack, increase the weight a little bit, seal it back up, and you wouldn't know. And of course, people are just like dogging on Aiden in the comments, you know, catches another L, didn't Logan get scammed too? Hey, Logan's a scammer, you know, everything you'd expect there. So people love seeing this type of stuff. And so Pokemon cards, really popular right now, been really popular for a long time. What's this new thing that's starting to be like everywhere? Labubus? I had been seeing these, but I didn't really know what they were. I mean, they're just these little like monster creatures. They almost look like Teletubbies, Furbies, with like kind of creepy little faces. You know, exploded in popularity. People are buying them online. You know, people are bringing them to, you know, conventions and shows, trying to flip them and stuff like that. I mean, it's just crazy. And it's the same way, you know, you usually buy them, you get like a random assortment, you don't know what you're gonna get. They're like the gacha style mystery box. So of course people are getting scammed by Labubus.
Bro, these are fake. These are fake.
Scammed with the Labubus.
Tell me which one you guys want.
I either want toffee or sesame bean. I just want the green one.
I want soy milk or lychee berry.
Guys, I think we got finesse.
Why? Shut up. There's no QR code on the back. Wait, there's no. Oh, it's on the side. It's on the side. Okay.
The disappointment's coming.
Is that a bad sign? I don't know. They're fake. They're fake. No, but they're so fake. You guys. We got scammed. We got scammed. Wow. We go in there. We'll keep the 3 that we opened. Yeah, we want to refund for the 3 that we didn't open. Just got scammed with Labubus. What is the store called? Floreria de la Luna in Commerce City. It is not real Labubus. They're selling Lafufus for the price of Labubus. We did not get a refund. They refused to refund us, so we are out $225 on some Lafufus. This is the store, guys. It's next to El Coco Pirata, and it is called Floreria in Commerce City. Let's blow this video up, guys, because that was a lot of money that we just paid for that box. They charged us more than Pop Mart sells a whole box for, and they refused to give us a refund. We even offered give us a refund on the 3 that we didn't open, and they refused. So don't get scammed, guys. Don't go there. And she did not disclose anything before we bought them about them being fake. But then when we walked in there, she was like, "Oh, you didn't know that they were fake?"
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, the I thought you knew it was fake excuse. And then no refund.
Bruh.
That's brutal. And so that little box of the 6 random characters, she said like over $200. And you know, you gotta figure if you're not going through kind of like the official channels, especially with as big as this stuff is right now, and you know, it's trying to ride the hype that people are seeing everywhere on social media, you have to be careful. So yeah, just going into this random store and we're just gonna, you know, buy these Labubus at a great price. You know, they have them in stock. And for those weird, like, ugly ass keychains, but hey, then again, I'm buying Pokemon cards, so whatever. But yeah, damn, that's brutal. You know, getting ripped off for the Labubus. But what about stuff that's like worse? You know, stuff that could, you know, really, really ruin your life. You know, getting scammed for like your savings, you know, all the money you have.
All of my money was just stolen. Today I was the victim of phone fraud. Somebody called saying that they were from my bank, from the fraud department of my credit card, that there were fraudulent charges on my card. He asked to verify, he verified them, asked me if I did them, and I said no, and then he said, okay, I'm gonna cancel your card right away, like, I'm gonna help you out, don't worry about it. He somehow already had access to, like, see my transactions on that card, so he went through, like, the most recent ones, and asked me, like, is this legitimate, is this legitimate? I was like, yes, like, that I know. And then he somehow got access to, I didn't give him any passwords, nothing. He, like, already had stuff. He just asked me for, like, normal verification questions. And he was somehow able to access my account, and he wiped my checking and my savings clean. I reported it to BMO fraud. And I'm going to the police station now to report it as well. Just be so careful when people call you. Please, just be careful.
Yeah, that is like really rough. You have to be so careful. And you know, this isn't only like old people getting scammed anymore. You know, stuff has gotten so sophisticated. You might think like, you know, you're safe and you do everything right, but they'll get you somehow. And what did she say? He was asking, you know, the standard verification questions. And so that probably caught her off guard, but that was probably what did her in. So most likely knew the types of areas she was using her card, you know, the typical types of expenditures, found that out somehow, and then was trying to log in and was at that like password reset prompt. Oh, what are your verification? What are your security questions? And then boom, she's just thinking it's all good. You know, he's legit, he knows his stuff, got right in. She probably gave him all the answers and then he, boom, reset it, got that password in, wiped it out. And there's a few different ways that this is happening. I know a guy who I don't work with directly, but I worked out at a site we worked at together. And I remember sitting in the lab with him like while he was getting scammed. And I did tell him, I was like, dude, something just doesn't seem right. But he was so like gung-ho about it. He was like, oh no, it's totally legit. It's from my bank. But I was like, dude, they would not be asking you this stuff. Right here, take a look.
What's up, y'all? Let me put y'all on game real quick. Please share this video so you guys do not get scammed by the new scam that's going on. So scammers are getting your information through public record. They pay for the reporting, they get your information. They figure out where you stay, your date of birth, your phone number, and who you bank with. They will manipulate the, they will manipulate the phone number of the bank that you bank with, call you with their caller ID saying they are with so-and-so bank, Bank of America, Chase, or BMO, and they're from the fraudulent department, the fraud department. And they will ask you about these charges and say, hey, did you have these charges? Did you approve of them? You tell them no. And they say, hey, you won't be responsible. When you hear that, hang up the phone, go inside your bank. Don't call your bank, go inside your bank, ask them about the charges. If they say no, then you know it's a scam. So don't y'all get caught up. Be safe, be smart.
Yeah, so that's exactly what they did to that guy I was mentioning. They had like spoofed the number and were calling him from a fraudulent number, but on his phone it was showing up as his bank. He's just sitting there, he was telling them everything. Yeah, you know, this is the pretty much the security questions, this is what it is, this is what it is. Okay, thank you. And he hung it up, and then about like 10 minutes later, he had gotten like an email in the lab we were in that was coming from his wife trying to reach him again on the phone. And she was like, yeah, all the money's gone. Why is the bank calling me? They just said that there's like fraud on our account. So then he was like wondering, well, like, you know, who is the scammer? Was it, you know, the person calling my wife or the person I just talked to? But nah, it was the first person he talked to. He pretty much gave him everything they needed, got in, cleaned out his account, and that was it. His checkings, his savings, both. And so it was really like wondering, like, man, didn't they have like two-factor authentication or something that could have like helped prevent this? But I remember asking about it like later on that week, and he said he was going through a ton of stuff trying to get like everything resolved. There was an open investigation. Yeah, he had to file police reports and stuff. I mean, just, it was terrible. But wait, if you're enjoying this content, hit that free like button down below, subscribe so you can stay informed, and then drop me a comment. Have you been a victim of scams like this, or do you know someone who has been? Let me know. Now, back to the video. So, you get scammed over the phone for your bank, you know, they take all the money you have, that sucks. A lot of times, if you buy something fraudulent online, you can file a dispute, and you can usually get your money back or get some sort of resolution. But what if you're the scammer and you're trying to do like fraudulent disputes, thinking, oh, I can just go buy this, then I'm gonna dispute it in my credit card, and I'm just gonna get my money back. Yeah, right, you're gonna get busted.
So now I'm around be catching a felony charge, all because I wanted to dispute one of my transactions. I basically, probably like 3 months ago, I went to the store and I was with a couple of new motherfuckers that I've never been around before. Mind you, now I've moved to Houston, I live in Houston, I'm with all these fast life, living motherfuckers, spending money, all that in third. So, as I'm with these motherfuckers, we in the mall, we go up in Chanel. They doing all these extra popping tags, doing all third. So me, I wanted to do a little something too. So I grabbed me like 3 sneakers, you feel me, something slight, but heavy though. So everything came up to like $6,100 at the end of the total. So I got my little shoes, we'll take my pictures, flick up in them. I'll go like my pictures on Instagram. See that I got it. Go on Instagram. So I flick up in them, all this in a third. 2 or 3 weeks later, I tried to go refund it. They said it was wear and tear and whatever, the shit, couldn't do nothing with them. I didn't know what to do with them neither. I wanted to keep them the whole time though, but I needed that little bread back. So I didn't think it was nothing. I did it with DoorDash before, so Chanel ain't no different. So I ended up disputing the charge.
Wow.
Fast forward the story 2 months later, which was yesterday. I get a letter in the mail talking about I gotta come to court in California somewhere out there. I've been indicted, or what is it called? Subpoenaed to come to court. And that I was being sued for the charge of the amount that what's it called?
Got him.
Moral of the story, chill out on doing that. Y'all. Let me be y'all example.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. Hey, you're an influencer, you wanna, have some nice shoes, nice clothes. You're just gonna go get them, bring them back, take your pictures in them. Like he said, he got them all wore up. Go to try and return them, and hey, guess what? They don't return them. So what's the next smartest thing you would do? Oh, well, I'll just dispute the charge on my card and just try to get that money back. Yeah, not gonna work, they gotcha. And like he said, he got subpoenaed. I mean, he's gonna have to go to court. He's probably gonna have to pay it back too. And for what? For nothing, just trying to have some photos like in the shoes, in the clothes, just for that social media clout. And dang, he said $6,100. Hey, that's in felony territory. And yeah, he said, I'd done this with DoorDash, so why shouldn't I do this with Chanel? And people saying in the comments, comparing DoorDash to Chanel is insane. And yeah, one of the other comments blames everybody but himself. And yeah, that's what it seemed like. But like we've said before, this could all just be totally fake. Could be parody, could just be doing this for the views, the engagement, the comments, and we're the ones getting scammed by watching it. So who knows, it's crazy out there. But something else that always seems kind of fishy in today's day and age is checks. And if you get a check, or it's a random check, it's a check you're not expecting, even if it is a check you are expecting, I just always feel weird cashing a check now. Like, there's gotta be some sort of scam, or, people are gonna think it's a scam. Well, you gotta be careful out there too, because a lot of people still try scams with checks.
Alright, I have put my car up. I got a 1964 Buick Riviera. I have put it up on Craigslist to sell it for, I think it was around like $15,000. So I just got this check from Cargo Services Inc. 1601 70th Avenue. Now I'm trying to find out what do they got going on right there. Like, if anybody could, up to speed on how this scam goes, I'd appreciate it.
You're selling something on like an online marketplace, Facebook marketplace, or Craigslist or something like that. Yeah, someone reaches out to you, says they want to buy it, and they're going to send you a check. Scam. And in his specific case, this exact thing happened to me too. When I was moving from my last house into the one we're currently in, I threw a bunch of stuff up on Facebook Marketplace, super stressful. We're trying to move. We're trying to, sell the house we're in. We're also closing on the house we're trying to get into. We got to get everything out. We're doing the logistics of everything, getting a truck, trying to make sure we have enough space for stuff. All the timeline matches up, perfect time to wear your guards down to where you might get scammed. So I'd thrown like our original bed frame up on Craigslist, and just within like a few minutes, I got like an email. Oh, hey, I want to buy it, but I'm down in like Miami and I'm not gonna have the ability to get it up there. So how about I send someone to pick it up? So they said that, and they then said, okay, well, what's your address? I'm gonna forward you the payment. And like 2 days later, I get this check in like a prioritized envelope. Okay, here it is. And it was worth more money than what I was trying to sell the bed frame for. And so what was the deal there? Well, their whole thing, then they sent me a message. Oh, okay, I can't come pick it up, but I'm gonna have a service come pick it up for me. And I've included the extra value in there that is gonna be their payment. So if you go cash that check, hold on to the money. It's like an extra $200, I think it was, or something like that, for them to deliver it. They're gonna come pick it up, you pay them, and then they'll be paid, and then they'll bring the bed down to me. Yeah, and I was like, this seems so jacked up, but they had kind of like a sob story. Oh, I can't get up there. There's something with my family member or something they said. So I was like, well, whatever, we'll see what happens. And yeah, I took that check to the bank. Soon as I brought it into the bank, the lady said, oh, was this by chance from Craigslist? I said, yep. She said, yeah, this is a scam. And that was like one of the first times I was trying to sell stuff on Craigslist too, so I was kind of like naive to that fact. But she was totally aware of it. She said that the scam is that you pretty much like cash the check, or you try to cash a check, takes a while to post, and then you've pretty much taken out the money. You would wait, they would try to come pick it up, say, oh, are there people here to like get the item? They come, they grab it, and they get the money that you were supposed to give them, and then like that check bounces and it comes back fraudulent. So in the end, she said in some of the cases that people were losing the item and they were losing the money because they were cashing out more than they thought they would have been getting for the sale. And then, you know, they're going to lose that once they hand it over, and then the check bounces and they have to end up paying it back. So, ridiculous scam. I almost fell for it. You know, thank goodness that the bank didn't think that I was just trying to scam them. So yeah, whether it's online or in person, you know, you're buying Labubus, you're scamming for welfare, food stamps, you're getting scammed with fake Pokemon card packs, or you're going into the gas station and getting hit on a skimmer. You just gotta be careful out there. The scams are everywhere. But that does it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe so we can hang out again, and then drop me a comment. It really helps new channels, so I totally appreciate it. And YouTube thinks you like this video right here, so give it a watch if you have a second. Until next time, I've been Dustin Prime, you've been you, and people, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Do some due diligence, be safe out there, and don't get scammed. See you in the next one.